Are you saying you faked with me?
Yeah.
I just had sex, and it felt so good.
Wrong. Now you're single.
What do you know about sexual relations?
Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
I'm a little worried about being a slut.
You're listening to the Come With Us podcast, presented by Darling Way, talking the good, the kinky, and the ugly. Here are your hosts, Beth, Aaron, and Tina.
Hello, hello, all you ghoulishly, ghostly holes and poles. Welcome to the Come With Us podcast, where you're part of all the naughty, sexy, fun conversations that everyone wants to listen in on. Today, it's all about how to have a sexy and orgasmically fun Halloween. We've got different games, we've got talks about costumes, and I don't know about you, but we are so ready to go and looking forward to just some awesome, perfectly society-sanctioned, sexy Halloween fun. I'm Beth Darling, your sexy genius, dean of sexyedschool.com, where smart, successful, and even spiritual people go for their graduate degree in lovemaking. It's my sexy pleasure to be with you. And, of course, we've got Tina and Aaron here to dive into sexy orgasmic Halloween. Are you all excited? Aaron, do you know what you're going to be this year?
No idea.
No idea.
Not
do you
a clue.
typically dress up on Halloween?
Depending on what's going on. Halloween's on a Sunday this year, and I work on that Saturday before, so normally what we would go out and do, I'll be at work, so I won't be dressed up then. I know that.
Aw.
Maybe you can dress up for work.
No.
Why
I'm a
not?
grown man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Grown
And I
men
work
want to
in
have
sport.
fun.
2021. Most people are going to work still in their underwear.
Okay, you show me somebody who works in a football stadium that's showing up
I
in
bet
costume.
there will be people dressed up that Saturday
Not
for a
that
football
work.
game. Okay.
Yeah.
I bet
Who knows?
commentators will have.
Who knows? They either will or they won't. But let's figure out. Some people are committed to the idea of making Halloween fun. Well, frankly, there are a lot of people who just go, blah. But I think that's crazy, right? Again, my attitude, it's take any excuse to have a good time and take any excuse to make a good time a sexy, fun time. So
I like the idea of Halloween, but I hate Halloween because it's 3 days after my birthday, and so every time growing up, you never really got to have a party because everybody, once you reach the 18 years old and up,
poor Aaron.
you would try to have a birthday celebration, but everybody's, oh no, I'm going to go out to a Halloween party and get drunk. But
Right.
it's not their Halloween party, so you don't get invited along, so everybody's off in the wind, 17 different people at 17 different things, so you never see anybody.
You could throw a party for your.
So this is what happens when, we carry baggage from even our youngest years. We carry it forward, and it affects everything that we do and the way that we see things. So
It's not that I don't enjoy the idea of Halloween. It's just I never really got to celebrate being an adult or anything like that because everybody was at Halloween parties.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll celebrate your birthday at your 6th month. We'll do your half birthday when there's no Halloween in sight. How's that?
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that. So, all right. So then when it comes to Halloween, though, because there's so much fun to be had. Weren't you talking, Tina, about the Mean Girls quote from that movie, Mean Girls? What was the quote about?
It's the one day a year any girl can dress as slutty as she wants and no one can judge her.
Oh,
everyone knows
right.
that quote. Well, almost everyone.
Yeah.
Aaron hasn't
I didn't
seen Mean
know that
Girls,
quote because I didn't watch the movie.
Yeah.
which is
But-
ludicrous to me, but whatever.
Yeah, so somehow or another, Halloween has become this basically time for, quote, even good girls to be sluts. Somehow I think that changes when people have kids and suddenly parents, and particularly moms, go, oh, no, I shouldn't do that. But I say throw off those little blinders and just jump into the fray
I definitely
and have
think
some fun.
Halloween is the sexiest holiday.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. And so one thought, okay, Aaron, you had talked, I forget on which episode, but a while ago, you had talked about how there was lingerie that was in the style of, that referenced the
Disney princesses.
Disney princesses
Yeah.
and their little, kind of peekaboo bras and sexy little panties and very revealing and very sexy, but definitely looked like, you showed me something like Snow White or Sleeping Beauty and stuff.
So despite the whole you could dress like a slut, you couldn't wear these out in public. Literally, it doesn't matter. That's
Right.
It's too revealing to be legal to be seen in public.
Right,
Dressing
right.
slutty is one thing. Dressing in open cup bra that just lets them hang out. No, that the Johnny Law frowns
I've
on
done
that.
it.
Probably not. Okay, but probably
Yes,
not
but
okay.
you've also blown a guy in an alley.
Well,
It was a street. But
in the middle of a street of a neighborhood. I'm trying to make it sound a
usually
little bit
I'm the
more
one
hidden.
going down rabbit trails. Today, y'all are the ones all over the place. So, okay, but here's the thing. I think that those cute little knicker sets, bra and panty sets, that would be so much fun if a woman wore those out with her family and stuff, covered with, like, if she was in a Snow White the bra and panty and put the demure covered up Snow White costume on top. But then she and her partner knew what was underneath or something, or she flashed him once in a while and stuff like that. Like, to me, that would be so fun to be publicly look like this demure little proper princess when under it all, you're dressed like this totally wild, sexy slut. And I don't mean slut in a bad way. I mean in a sexual, totally sexy, hot, desirous woman who's
I don't
ready
know if
for
I've ever
some
said
action.
slut in a bad way.
Yeah,
Like,
some
I've never
people-
tried to say it as a demeaning thing.
Not
to
trying to
anybody.
slut shame somebody. Yeah. We're trying to
Well,
uplift.
yes, but never. I don't think in my life I've ever done it. But also, anytime we would say it on this podcast, just disclaimer going forward. Anytime we say the word slut, it's not in a demeaning way on this podcast.
Yeah. Okay. We mean an empowered woman who's in touch with her sexy and doesn't care what other people think. Yeah.
Sure. Way to make a definition way longer than it needs to be.
I'm a lawyer. That's what I do well. Okay. But so I think that would be a fun way for people to do to merge that sort of sexy with your real, proper,
Yeah.
life and stuff. Because Tina, you're just going to go dress like a total slut and reveal all, right?
Well,
all evening and stuff. What are you doing?
I mean, there's a middle ground between like what Aaron's talking about and like being totally like just regular costume. Like you can find slutty basically anything that isn't just like straight lingerie.
yeah. And you can
So,
turn anything.
I swear to God, like
Okay.
I have seen everything, almost everything, either being done or like online. So, you
Yeah.
can do.
So there's all sorts of options if you're willing to
Yeah.
embrace. But it's so funny because I think women go out of their way or find release in being their sexy. Men, though,
Yeah, it's
they
funny.
don't embrace it. And I think that's crazy. I think men should embrace their sexy too.
For men, it's more like a comedic thing. Like
Yes.
guys go for like the funny costumes and girls go for like the sluttier ones. But I think you can do, but like guys should definitely, you can dress more sexy, but girls should also like put a little effort in, you can do like, even if you want to dress slutty, like it can also be comedic, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, you can have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Love and laughter, sexy and laughter go hand in hand.
You don't just
Yeah.
have to be like a slutty bunny or a mouse. Like do something, get a little creative. And guys, you don't just have to be like,
Yeah. Put some effort in, look good, and make sure when you take your costume off, whatever you've got under is really hot. No matter who you are, what you're doing, who you're with, even if you're just by yourself, what you do underneath always counts.
Or you
So-
could do like a couple's costume that's like funny and sexy, like plug in socket. Get
Oh
it?
yeah. Mhm.
Peanut butter and jelly, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
dumb
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And then he can put his plug in your
Right.
socket.
Well, and frankly, even if you're going out with kids or family, and being quote proper, then you can be wearing insertable vibes. You can be wearing remote control cock rings. There's so many different ways that you can add some juice and some good vibes to Halloween.
Sex in a cemetery.
Yes, right. Tell spooky stories to each other and stuff. So, okay. And also though, so one thing I'm really excited about, I love Halloween too. I mean, I love the candy. I love costumes. I love everything about it. But there are also so many cool, sexy Halloween games. And these I think people can do. So if you're going to any sort of a party, I don't think you should have to settle for like just going and getting drunk. I just think that's kind of boring. Once you reach a certain age, you've done that before. So I think people should have games and activities for their Halloween parties. And I think that they can make them a very, very much a sexy, orgasmic themed Halloween. So I've got a bunch I want to share with you. I think, Tina, do you have some games
I
too?
have a few, but you can go first.
Okay, you want? Aaron's looking at me like,
I mean, I didn't come prepared. Like for
Oh.
the first time, I'm not prepared. Like I have no idea. Like,
Okay,
I'm
well,
just
you'll
gonna.
have
I'll be
ideas.
the reactionary
Okay.
to all this.
All right. So first, one of my favorite ideas is to have a fake an orgasm as your costumed character. So, for example, if you show up like a nun or Ted Lasso or anything else, you have to fake an orgasm
That's
as that character.
hilarious.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Even if you were a
Oh my
banana or
God.
something
you
silly.
could do it as like if you're in the right like environment, you could do it as like a contest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
So-
always a contest.
You know
I
what that,
love prizes.
You know what that
Yes.
reminds me of? So you know the Rocky Horror Picture Show screenings?
Yeah.
So a lot of those, they have that orgasm contest where people go up on stage and then they mimic orgasms during that part
Yeah.
of the movie, and then they judge the best orgasm sound.
Yeah. Well, I used to do it when I hosted Sexy Trivia. And I am telling you, we had some amazing fake orgasms.
That's a great idea.
It was brilliant. But I think that the twist is that you have to do it then as your whatever you're costumed as, which I think
That's
is
so
going to
good.
be a hoot. And frankly, you should video that and send them to us because those would be hysterical.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that's the first one. And that you can do in a group of any size. It doesn't matter. Couples, singles, anybody. And I think I think you can thank me later. All right. The next one is a little bit more complicated, but I think is totally fun, especially if you've got a bunch of couples or even a bunch of singles. So you partner people up either with the one they brought or with somebody new, and you do a make your own sundae. But instead of making your own sundae in a bowl, one of them has to strip down to their underwear or bikini, and the other one has to make the sundae on that person and then lick it off.
And you
And
have to
that
use
again is a
Halloween
contest.
candy
Yeah, you
or
can use
something.
all sorts of just toppings and sprinkles and colors and candy corn, and it would be so much fun. Totally a mess, so you need a space, but really fun and very exciting. So
You're like the banana
there you go.
and everything else on top.
Yeah. And a lesser, like a little bit of a sort of easier version of that would be to do body painting and to use jellies and jams and chocolate syrups and caramel syrups and whipped cream and even like cookie decorating icing and stuff like that. And you paint people's bodies. And then you have, again, a contest because you want prizes and you want people to do this and get excited. So I think that would be tons of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay. You want me to keep going or you want to add some?
I can go.
Okay.
So coming kind of going off a traditional Halloween thing, I think doing sexy pumpkin carving would be cute. You know, obviously
Yeah.
get an appropriate environment, but I feel like we always carve the same things, and it's so easy to find like templates to carve. You know, all you have to do is just find a picture online and stick it onto a pumpkin, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, more people should be doing sexier Halloween carvings.
Well, like years ago, there was a company that was making like X-rated pumpkin templates.
Really?
But they stopped making them.
Perfect.
I'm sure with a good search online, somebody could find some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't remember what the company was
I feel
based
like
out
there's
of.
a few good ones, like the Bond Girl ones are always kind of sexy to me, you know, like the like silhouette of like a girl. You could definitely find those online.
Yeah, they were called Pornkins.
Oh my God, that's
They
hysterical.
were, they're still, so they
Pornkins.
stopped making them, but they're still out there. There's certain websites that still have them in stock.
Oh, that's funny.
And like, I'll show you a picture. Sorry for the, you guys are listening, but I'll show you pictures and you can describe them.
Oh my goodness. So it's silhouettes of people fucking, basically.
Yeah, there's silhouettes of people fucking. There's one of like a girl getting like cum on her face. There was one that I saw that was like a girl spreading her ass. Yeah.
Okay, just to be fair, those require some skill though. So you've got to be a very talented pumpkin carver. I would totally butcher that.
All
but
pumpkin
I'm sure.
carvings, I feel like require like they.
Yeah,
like,
well, yeah. Some of them aren't quite as detailed,
Yeah,
but
but
really,
that's true.
basically carving cocks and pussies and stuff.
Yeah,
in them
oh,
would
yeah.
be- boobs and
just
like
do
those.
a shit
Right.
ton of dicks.
Yeah, that would be tons of fun.
That would be hilarious. To go to Trader Joe's, you can buy like 10 pumpkins for like $20, and then you can like
Yes.
carve just a bunch of different sized dicks into them.
I love that. Mhm.
Ah.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
So, get creative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's
All right.
that's mine. I love that. I might do that actually. That's a
Oh, that's cute. Yeah. And by the way, and feel free to send us pictures if you do these and stuff, because we'd love to see them. And then maybe we'll share some on social media too. So tell us if you want attribution or not. So, okay, that's cool. What about just turning horror movie titles into porn titles?
Huh.
So, like, what would it be? I don't know. What's a good horror movie? I don't know.
Chucky into Fucky.
Child's Play is the name of the movie, though.
Child's Play?
Yeah.
Okay,
Chucky's the character,
yeah,
the
but-
doll. The movie is Child's Play.
Okay, I don't think we want to talk
Um,
about anything with child in it and porn. So we'll skip that one for a
Yeah.
second. But let's, Nightmare on, what's it?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. So.
The Omen.
Nightmare on Anal Street.
Yeah, there you go.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Orgy.
Friday the 13th.
Friday.
Fucking.
The fuck team.
Yeah, fucking Friday.
Scream, but because you're having a great orgasm.
Yeah, there you go.
What are the other good classic ones? Though I think we've hit them all, but you get.
Yeah, I'm sure other people could be really clever because, because I think there are a lot out there. So that could be, or just come up with a new Halloween porn movie and give it a fun title and see who comes up with. So I think that could be do. The other one, in addition to the fake an orgasm as your costumed character, there's also give a lap dance as your costumed character.
That's great too.
Which is also could be tons of fun.
Don't go with Stephen Hawking.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be? Yes, that would be hysterical though.
He's a
good
very
sport.
un-PC.
He's dead.
I know, but he was a good sport about this stuff. Like, so he would totally laugh. I believe that.
That's
You'd be
fine and
laughing
dandy,
with
but
him,
saying
not at him.
that would be great. I mean, you would
Yeah,
just
'cause
be
that's a
running over
challenge.
somebody in a freaking wheelchair over and
you'd
over
be
again.
like trying to figure. Well,
that would hurt.
I'm sure you'd have to. I don't know. Be interesting. But okay, you could play a game of which villain would you fuck first. And so you just, you have a stack of cards or whatever, index cards, and you put, I don't know, think of Cruella and I don't know, who's a Marvel villain?
I definitely don't know.
Thanos.
Thanos. Okay. Who would you fuck first, and everybody kind of goes through. I think that would be kind of fun.
Fuck,
and
marry,
silly.
kill. You could do that one too.
There you
With
go.
people at your party.
Yeah.
If you're at a party.
Yeah. Well, and these are all ideas for how, if you're at a party or even just hanging out with a bunch of friends, I think these are really kind of fun. Another is Devilish Dollars. So whoever's there, you just print up and everybody gets a set amount of fake money. Say it's $5,000 at the beginning of the night. They can use these dollars to pay people to do things for them. So you might pay, hey, if I give you $3, would you go get me a drink? If I give you $50, would you give me a lap dance? And so on and so on. And by the end of the night, then you see who's got the most money and what they did to earn all that money. I mean, it's the same thing. It's like this excuse to do crazy things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. And I think in this spirit of competitiveness, there are a lot of us who would be like, okay, I'll do that for that much money. I'll flash, I'll do this. I'll sit in your lap and squirm for a minute or two. And
well, it kind of goes off my thing. So I had one on here, like a sexy scavenger hunt, but
Oh, yeah.
also like a kind of like competition thing. And you
Yeah.
could do that with the money, like you get like money for finding things and you had like sexy things around, if you're around like in a party and stuff or around your house, and you can make it a little bit Halloween themed.
yeah.
So-
And with that, if you, you can give a list of, okay, find something that's not designated as a vibrator, but find something that would stimulate a woman's clitoris the best. And it has to be an ordinary household item. And everybody has to find something and then explain why it works and stuff. So that would go
Lots
right
of
along.
candelabras
Yeah.
would work.
Candelabras. Yeah. There you go. You can do something really simple, like whoever says Halloween, instead of just drinking alcohol, then they get a spanking by whoever catches them. That could be kind of fun if you're into that. Or they have to give a kiss or some such. So you can figure that part out. You could play another, like we did this game of Never Have I Ever, but you could do one called, I'm calling Evil Temptations, where again, you have this list, different cards, and you have all these different things. Give a blowjob on a street, fuck in a car, walk around with no underwear and the wind blowing, all these different things. And it's A or B. Which would you do? Which would you be more likely to do? And see what people say, because I think that would be kind of fun and interesting. And yeah, I think people would laugh.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And again, these are all easy. You can do them on your own. You don't need to go spend $70 or $80 on any big games and stuff. And then because I like treats, like I just think people should trick or treat and stuff all the time. But you could do for grown-ups, and you could give away condoms and little lube packets or pop rocks or massage oils or airplane bottles of alcohol if you want. There's all sorts of like,
but not to
cock
kids,
candy,
not to
right?
kids.
Not to kids, not to kids. These are just for adults, and boob candies, and there are boob gummies and cock gummies and all these different kinds of things. So I think those are tons of fun. And
Yeah, that's a great idea.
there were, I used to sell, like, there's a bag of dicks, and I was like, suck a bag of
I
dicks.
remember your
Like,
bags
those
of
were
dicks.
so fun.
Yeah, they're great. Those are great Halloween candy ideas.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of ways that you can actually bring sexy in a way that is humorous and funny and gets people laughing and engaged, I think. So, Aaron, if we were going to have a party with some of these games, would you be inclined to come?
Probably not.
Really?
I mean, I wouldn't be allowed to.
Okay, forgetting work. If you didn't have work.
No, I'm married. Like, that wouldn't
I
happen.
mean with your wife.
Yeah, no, she wouldn't be in for that. No.
Your wife wouldn't enjoy
Fuck
coming to a
no.
party? Really?
Fuck no.
Why?
Because that's not up her alley. Like, that kind of a
Really?
party? Hell no.
Oh, okay. I'm so surprised. I thought she liked playing games and like being silly and stuff. Like with you, I'm not saying on her own, but so she doesn't really like dressing up.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
But in actual, like, with other people around? No, God, no.
No. All right, we're gonna have to spend some time together and see, because now this is making me want to have a great big Halloween party. I don't usually host the Halloween parties, but now I kind of do. But that means, hey, if anybody's having Halloween parties, then let me know, because that would be kind of
Beth
fun.
used to host. Didn't y'all used to host like the most insane Halloween party?
We used to do a holiday party.
Oh, holiday party.
Yeah, we didn't do a Halloween party. One time for one of my kids, we did an amazing Halloween, like a vampire themed party, and the whole house was done. We had a coffin. It was all decorated. People came in costumes. It was really very, very, very cool. We did all
Really?
sorts of cookies with, there's some really great cookies that you just put little teeth marks in with a little bit of red jam coming through and stuff. So there's so many different recipes out there these days that for the treats and food and stuff you can figure out and make. Yeah. Slime.
That's a great idea. I was thinking about
Yeah.
being a sexy bat.
Yeah.
Thinking about this year, but that I moved on to sexy rabbi.
Yeah, that
So
would be
now I'm on
cute.
sexy rabbi.
I always do, like, purple is my favorite. So I went as like the purple Mad Hatter with
Yeah.
a really fun costume.
Or pirate.
I
You
loved
love
that.
Sexy pirate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or-
Purple pirate.
Purple pirate. Purple sexy pirate.
Yeah. Yeah. I love costumes. I love silly, fun, outrageous things. I love hats that I wouldn't ordinarily get to wear. I like fantasy. This is why I like Disney World so much too. Everybody. In fact, going to Disney World at Halloween was really fun. People there of all ages took Halloween so seriously and were dressed in crazy, amazing, wonderful, professionally done outfits. And
I'm sure Disneyland or Disney World is like
Yeah.
nuts.
I wonder what Vegas is like for Halloween.
Yeah, probably pretty. Oh, actually, I've been there. I was there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
They have these insane costume competitions in the clubs, and you can win like $10,000 for like the best. Like you can win a ton of money.
Wow.
Yeah, and stuff.
So were the costumes that won? Have you ever seen like who won? Because
Yeah, they're like good.
are they really professional done, or are they creative? Like, did they
They're
just go out and bought?
But
Oh.
they're like usually like obviously like pretty girls and like sexy stuff. But like they're good. Like they're, I mean, I only saw it 1 year, but they were like really well done. I went that year. I went to Tao, which is like a huge club. I went as Justin Verlander.
Oh,
Because we had just won the ALCS.
oh, funny.
And I had just come from New York where we had beat the Yankees.
Very cool.
And it was nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was your costume sexy or no? Because
It was actually sexy. I wish I could show you guys a picture. I wore my Verlander jersey
Yeah.
and my hat.
Yeah.
And underneath I wore like a bra and like a tiny, like they were like booty, like I would call them Spanx, basically.
Right,
like very, very short shorts. And then a black waist bra.
Yeah. That's the thing. So you can do, no matter what you're,
I know, it
no
was
matter
a
what you look
ridiculous
like on the
costume.
exterior, right? You can make it, you can give it a sexy flair, if
For
you will.
sure.
And,
For sure.
yeah.
Like my friend who I went with, she was like a sexy dominatrix. She looked great. But I was like straight up, did not, you know, like, and it was fine. Like we got in, we had a great time. People love our costumes. So, you know, you can definitely go either or somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that. So. Okay, so some people, like I said, I think the party is a great way to go, but there are people that aren't going to be able or don't have the desire to go to a party, like you, Aaron, and stuff. So let's talk about one. If you've got some recommendations for the coolest sexy Halloween costumes, then you think, let's get those out there. But also, I think that we should address the fact, because it is Halloween, this is the night for horror. And the fact is that watching scary movies increases our desire for sexy. And so even if you can't go to a party, staying home, putting the kids to bed or whatever, and watching a scary movie and cuddling up might be a really great way to actually get some sexy fun that night. So, and plus there are people also that totally get off on creepy stuff and everything like that, in which case this is definitely the night for you. So yeah. All right. So let's start with, tell me about the more sedate, tell me about the costumes that y'all are totally like. Aaron, if you were going out, what are some costumes that you would love to see women or your partner in and stuff?
I mean, there's a whole lot of them. I'm trying to think. Like, the schoolgirl is always a classic one. The nurse is okay. Sexy cop is always fun. A lot of guys like the Harley Quinn thing just because it was Margot Robbie who acted as Harley Quinn.
So many girls
don't like it.
The Harley
I'm not into the Harley Quinn look just because it's,
yeah.
I also know, I remember reading the comics as a kid and I know the backstory of how much of a nut job she fucking is. So it's like,
yeah. So
to me, there's red flags that go off in my head. I'm like, yeah, no, that's a girl that's going to stab you in your sleep because you didn't make her come enough. Like, fuck that. No.
Wow.
Hey, that's not a bad reason to stab a guy. Honestly,
Yeah,
there are worse.
I'm going to turn this into HPD when it happens. So
Yeah,
you
it's
just
true.
know that. Sexy cheerleader is okay, but that just like...
I went a sexy cheerleader last year, so you might get stabbed if you say, no, I'm kidding.
Well, but to me, I think the part of the problem with sexy cheerleader was the idea that there was a sense that cheerleaders were sort of unobtainable. So in fact, they were wearing these sexy outfits, but they were distant or removed or something.
Well, y'all want to hear
think.
something crazy? So I actually didn't plan it for Halloween and it was like the day before, and I was talking to my friend and she wasn't going out because she was sick and stuff, but she found her middle school cheerleading outfits because she was a cheerleader in middle school and high school, and she gave them to me. So I actually fit into her. So we were both cheerleaders in high school in 9th grade. The one from 9th grade I couldn't fit into, and we were the same size back then. But the one from her middle school, she went to Trafton, which is a middle school here. I fit into it, and I went in her 8th grade cheerleading costume. So it wasn't even funny. Like sex. It was like sexy but unintentional because it was just freaking small.
That's funny. One year I wore one of my daughter's their school uniforms. They had the little plaid skirt, so I went as the schoolgirl stuff, and I was wearing my daughter's outfit, and it was that was pretty weird.
It was definitely a squeeze. I'm not trying to say I think there was stuff like a little bit hanging over and not everything zipped up, but it was cute. You know? It was a good.
Yeah.
So I've definitely done that, but I can go over some of my sexier moments if you're done.
I mean, it just depends. I mean, mostly for most guys, it's just show off. Enjoy showing it off. Actually have the fucking confidence to show off your body for once.
But don't you think like Princess Leia and stuff, that brings back this whole era for people. And so I don't know what a more modern day take on that is.
I mean, I love when guys try for Halloween. Like, you don't necessarily have to go shirtless and stuff. But I think it's like so many dudes especially, they blow it off, they are like they just come and like they
but see, like if I was ever going out, I never blew it off.
Yeah.
Like if I was going somewhere.
So tell me some of the stuff you've been
So
before.
from like sophomore year of high school all the way up through probably my junior year of college, somewhere in there. So I always went as Maverick because one, I had an old.
That's such a good costume.
I had an
for
old.
a dude.
I still have
And
this
a girl.
old brown leather bomber jacket that I've had since I was young. And so it's really easy. You put on jeans, you put on boots, you put on a white t-shirt, and then the jacket. And I always had aviators.
Yeah.
And so all you do is just gel up your hair, put it on, and then you're good to go.
See, and that's the thing. So then as a woman, everybody who watched that movie and who identified, like there were many of us who wanted to be saved, or we wanted Maverick to come sweep us off our
But
feet.
I've
So you
also-
evoke that feeling.
I've seen the reverse where the girls wear the full green jumpsuit with like it undone.
I've got the green
and
jumpsuit
then
now.
Their boobs are like, up.
Yeah,
up
no, my
here
boobs
and
don't pop
stuff.
out.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like you can also make it,
Right.
reverse and girl it up or sexy it up or
Yeah.
as a guy you can wear the green jumpsuit, no shirt underneath. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I've got the green jumpsuit now. I just don't wear it very often. Like I
And
think
it's a
I've worn
good
it
thing
twice.
because you can do Goose and Maverick, Good, good combo.
That was my go-to for the longest time because also it was cheap and I always had white t-shirts, so it was literally just putting on things that I had in the house. One year I went as it wasn't chocolate. I went as a UFC fighter because that was when I was in like really good shape. So I just threw on.
in the
and it
cute
was-
little bikini bottom thing?
No, it was board shorts.
They don't wear
Not a
bikini
wrestler.
bottoms.
Not a wrestler, a fighter.
got all
an actual
excited. I
MMA
was
fighter.
like, ooh.
So, but my buddy, we used to have these huge blowout bashes at his house on Halloween, and it was mostly outdoors, and we had this huge area, and like we used to get 100 people out there. And so this one year I was in really good shape, so I dressed up as a UFC fighter. So I had the board shorts on. I had tape and stuff because of my knees and my ankles anyways playing basketball. I wrapped up and taped up my feet like I was actually going to be in a fight. I had my hands taped up and everything. But and I went shirtless. But the problem is that was like the coldest Halloween in Houston in like 10 years. It was like 14 degrees outside. So I froze my ass off until I got enough alcohol in my system to make me not care anymore.
That's a huge part of it. A huge part of it that I didn't think about. But Aaron's right. Like in Texas, we are a lot luckier. Not that year, but in general, you can wear like stuff that's a lot more revealing. For example, when I lived in Baltimore and like in the Northeast, it was like, I mean, people did obviously wear slutty stuff, but you really if you didn't want to bring a jacket and get it stolen at a bar, like you were going out in like lingerie in freaking 40-degree weather.
Yeah. And that's the problem. So, and then hopefully the activities or the parties are inside. But you're right.
Yeah.
So then finding a place with a respectable coat check place, that could be key.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
And
Or a
then-
private party.
Now that I'm older, I've got the flight suit. I've got something else. There's something else sitting in my closet that my wife bought or wanted me to buy a while ago. And then my always go-to lately, well, for the last, 32, so 5 years, 6 years at least, has been Johnny Cash because it's just a black suit with a black shirt underneath.
Oh, yeah.
And sunglasses.
That's easy. Yeah.
And I mean, that...
And again, that can be pretty hot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you say,
So, yep.
That's very cool.
That's been my go-tos.
Hey, I would say all of those are pretty sexy.
They're
for a dude.
low effort for me because it's stuff, again, that I have
Yeah.
around the house. Like, I'm not spending a shit ton of money to go do it, but at the same time, it's something when I put it on, I'm like, all right, cool. I look good. Let's do this.
That's good. Well, that's like every woman can basically put on thigh highs and a garter belt and a pair of heels, and anything you do is now way sexier, way cooler. And again, whether somebody sees how much of it they see or
How
not.
easy is it for a woman to do Daisy Duke?
So
Cut off
easy.
jean shorts, you take your top and you cut it off right below the bra, and then you put on a push-up bra, and then you're
All
done.
women have to do is wear extremely like what you would wear to a club, sexy whatever, and just put on ears and like bam,
ears or a
You're
tail.
Literally, like that's a costume. I don't applaud the effort but still, if you're going to like 5 Halloween parties one night, you can just I was gonna be one of my costumes, sexy bat, freaking the easiest thing ever. Like all black, just put bat ears on, put little fangs in.
Yeah.
Fuck it, you're done.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't take very much, and then I think the difference is our attitude though, is that when people really feel sexier, they just look sexier.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so then let's think about etiquette, because there is a difference when we are dressed in more revealing ways, when we are feeling more sexual and erotic, then we behave differently and we interact differently. So do you think when you're normally out to dinner, some women will say, oh, they don't want their guy to be, eyeballing every passing woman. But I think on Halloween, you have to give passes for that. I think everybody's eyeballing everybody, right?
Yes, I would say it's definitely one of the more like sexually charged environments that I can think back of, especially like I'm thinking back to like college and like post college, those years, like people would just go like, lots of like sexy stuff would go on. People, Yeah,
and I think you flirt with different people. Yeah. So I think there has to be, or I think that there should be an understanding at the beginning of the evening that flirting is okay. You have to figure out where the lines of touch are. Because, for example, if you see a nurse, I don't know pretty much any guy who's going to see a sexy nurse and not say, oh, is it time for my sponge bath? I mean, you think you're clever, but pretty much I think you hear that on a regular basis. Or the sexy
schoolgirl one where, you got to give me this spanking.
Yeah, yeah. Have you been a good girl today and stuff? And so I think that those kinds of, that kind of communication is going to go on that might not be appropriate other times, but definitely sort of fits with the mood. And you hate to see people go home and fight about it. Yeah. So
I would say you probably should know the environment you're going into, especially if like there's drinking involved, and which is obviously a huge drinking holiday, so. Yeah. So, and draw your lines, like make sure that you're pretty clear with your partner, give as much slack as you possibly can, but then make it very clear where your boundaries are. So your partner doesn't go, oh, well, I didn't know that was a problem. Right. Or if you're single, draw your own lines. Cause I'm actually thinking back, it is probably the one holiday where you definitely dress the sexiest and you consume like a lot of alcohol. So there are a lot of people who are wearing like a lot of really revealing stuff, and like, inhibitions can go like away side. So,
okay. Well, and so, all right. So that's where, especially, my code red needs to come into play. Yeah. People, you should be very, very, very cautious about accepting, what people are saying and stuff. Consent can be very confusing at that point. And I would say everybody should be practicing a code red. Means we stop, no questions, no nothing. We walk away. It doesn't matter, if the cock is just about to enter the pussy. Doesn't matter. Just say it and speak up and whatever. Yeah. So be very careful, because it is a night where people do get carried away.
For sure.
And especially in costumes and stuff, we're saying no.
I know.
And that's not quite clear. Code red is always clear. Means stop it now. Forever, period. The end. So but
I mean, generally I think that it is like, I always end up having a good time. The mood is always great. Like people generally, everyone enjoys Halloween. It's a holiday that like you can get into at any age, I
would say lots of people enjoy. Some people
Not
don't,
everyone.
but that's right.
Okay, so a lot
there's
of people
something
enjoy.
for everybody to enjoy if they want to. Because like I said, even if you don't want to go dress up in costumes, if you're not going to a party, but watching a movie and snuggling up with somebody you like, or hell, just even if you're by yourself or hanging out with some friends, watching a movie that might normally just, that's a little scary for you. This is kind of a night to do that. And then to enjoy the company of your friends and just to laugh about it and to embrace the outrageousness of it, like the sexy, the treats,
and
the
be
indulgence.
Someone else for a night.
It's decadent.
Yeah, the candy. I think it's just such a great holiday to me.
Yeah, I mean, like exactly what you just said. You get to be somebody else for an entire night. Yeah, like that, and that's actually even more a better point is that if you're not the role play type, that's your night to do it, because you're already dressing up as somebody that you're not. That's so. True. Enjoy it, like go full bore, do it.
You could do
I like that. So you're right, it's a great time to just say, okay, let's just try this and see, and then to talk to your partner if you've got one, like about what kind of role you would want, and if you're solo, to explore what kind of role you would want and how that would feel and how people would respond to you. That's a very good point.
So what have been some of your past Halloween costumes, Beth?
So I went as a sexy nurse once in a latex nurse little outfit that was super short and just zipped from top to bottom, so it came off very easily.
Have you ever done sexy lawyer or sexy judge?
No. No.
Too close to home.
Yeah, no, I just did. I did go once with where my partner was I went as the schoolgirl, and my partner went as the judge with with a paddle instead of a gavel, and that was kind of fun. So that was how that was kind of cool. I had one of my like favorite. It wasn't sexy at all, but it was like what dress as your opposite or something like that. I can't. So I went as a man in a suit. And that was so freaking easy. I was like, oh my God, men, they think they're getting dressed up. They put a suit on. This was the most comfortable. I had flat shoes. It was so easy compared to a woman who's wearing, heels and maybe pantyhose and a skirt and shit.
Actually, I once
that was awesome.
Broke my ankle on Halloween because of my costume.
Ow.
So talk about
Was it because, what was the costume?
I was Pippi Longstocking.
Oh, I love
I wish
Pippi
I could
Longstocking.
find a picture. I
So
was
cute.
obvious, like not
I love
obviously,
those
but it
books.
was in a frat, and I jumped down from like the stage, and I twisted my ankle.
Ouch.
But I still partied.
Yeah.
So that's how you know you dedicated
Shocker.
to the party.
No,
I
that's when you
partied.
know you've had too much to drink. Let's just be clear. But
I woke up with like an ankle that was, I cannot tell you, it was the size of like 2 feet.
Oh my gosh. So funny. So I love Pippi Longstocking,
Yeah.
but I loved those books as a kid. But there's nothing sexy. Like the idea of taking Pippi and turning it into sexy there's no part
I
of that
did it.
It appeals to me. Because it was so much pure fun, and I loved her spirit more than anything. So yeah.
So I've been
That's fun.
I've been sexy Pippi. These are the ones I can remember. Sexy Pippi Longstocking, sexy Justin Verlander, sexy. I was a Playboy bunny one year, so that was kind of boring.
Yeah.
I was cheerleader, and those are like the most recent ones. So
I went as a circus. What's the
the
MC of the circus kind of
Ringleader?
thing? The ringleader. Yes. Yeah.
that's cute.
That was
That's a
really
great idea.
That was fun with a really spangly short skirt and a crop top and stuff. So yeah, there are so many different ones. I think I would go to a Halloween party every month if I could. I really enjoy. I don't like role play like for sexy stuff, but I do love the dress up and the being silly and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of fun.
Why don't you just start throwing parties like that?
I need to. Yes, let's get this freaking COVID out of the way, and then you're right. Yeah, I definitely do. The problem is I have all these ideas. Like I can come up with these Halloween sexy games. I'm not good at decorating places. I'm not very good at making things look pleasing and aesthetic. So I really need a partner where I could have the ideas and they would put them into practical, so that you have the ambiance and everything like that. Yeah. But
I mean, there's so many great Halloween party ideas.
yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So just do it. Just turn it into something sexy and something positive and something fun and indulge. And
I
then
would say
also enjoy some candy. for
yeah.
me.
Oh, and me too. That's also another reason I love Halloween. It's
Yeah.
like the candy just really does it for me. Even though as an adult, like we really need to normalize trick-or-treating as freaking adults.
I know.
don't
I love
understand
trick-or-treating.
why
My
we
version of
need children.
trick-or-treating.
Because you're a grown ass person. Buy it yourself.
So?
Well, I know, but it's the assortment. Like if you buy it yourself, you're buying big bags of one kind. When you go different places, you get the surprise and you get a whole mixture.
So it's
which
also
is,
so fun
I
to
love
like
it.
see other
Yes.
people's costumes and like
Yes.
see your neighbors. Like I grew
I
up
love
on a
it.
street in Houston that had like I will never forget it. It was like everyone on the street came to like it was a block party.
Yeah.
And everyone came out and all the parents came out and like everyone
Yeah.
knew each other and actually they did it great because after the kids went to bed, since a lot of people knew each other, the
Yeah.
adults then they threw
Then-
this awesome adult party in one of the homes.
See, and that's when you should pull out some of
So,
these games and turn it into a.
So
really
why don't you
fun thing.
reverse trick or treat?
What do you like? Should I have a child?
Like, no, you take grab a bag of candy and take it to everybody on your street now, or like everybody in your apartment complex now, and just give them candy and be like, "Hey, you want to trade?"
That's,
could-
see,
That
that's
way,
cute.
like that way, it's not like a hey, you're asking. It's you're going, hey, this is the ones that I bought because I like. What did you buy? And then you just
Oh my God, I feel like
kinda
the people
switch.
in my
fun.
building is so shady. They'd like give me drugs or something instead.
Oh my
I would
gosh.
not do it in
Okay,
my building.
But I think that is actually that's kind of like a cookie exchange that people do for the Christmas holidays and Hanukkah, where everybody brings their own, like they bring 6 dozen of cookies they make, and then you go home. You just take however from each person, so you go home with an assortment and you don't have to make them. Aaron, that's one of the best Halloween ideas I've heard. So I really like that. Reverse trick or treat. Everybody bring candy, and everybody just then mixes and matches and takes home a bag of party favors. That's awesome.
I mean, if you go to most parties as an adult, there's going to be some candy, I think.
Yeah, but it'd be more fun if everybody brought some.
I agree.
Because I find at these adult parties that people...
something?
Yeah, well, but they don't usually bring candy. They bring wine or alcohol because I find like people look at me weird because I freaking love the candy way more than the alcohol. But they only have a little bit of the candy, and I think they should have more. So yeah, that's just me. I say my version of trick or treating is going to the store the day after or the week after Halloween and buying all the leftover candy on sale, and that's where it is so bad for me. I have to physically stop myself from going by the store because I can't resist it. So. Yeah, I've been known to buy, 3 foot tall chocolate bunny rabbits after Easter and eat them for months. So, yeah, you cannot trust me around candy. That's just it. But
anyways, I think Halloween is super sexy.
Yes.
You have to embrace it. Shit.
That's right. And don't forget, have the fake an orgasm as your costumed character.
I love that idea.
Totally fun. And send us videos. So, all right. Well, I think that's it, but I absolutely want to wish all of y'all the happiest haunted Halloween with orgasmic fun that you can ever have. Tell your stories, send us your pictures, stay in touch with them. Aaron, tell them how they can find us or what we want from people this Halloween.
Yeah, just, number one, thanks for listening. If you, would do us the favor, tell somebody else about the podcast. Let them know. Encourage them to give it a listen, even if it's 1 or 2 episodes. Just tell them, pick out your favorite episode, download it to their phone, and just tell them to listen to it. Whether they're with you, whether they're just on the road by themselves, whatever. Just encourage them to give us a listen, and maybe they'll enjoy it. Hopefully, we'll grow this community that we're building.
Oh, they could do that on Halloween. They could just download and send a message. It could be, here's your Halloween treat. Listen to Come With Us podcast.
There you go.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you want to get in touch with us too, if you want to send us pictures of your Halloween costumes or anything like that, we've got 2 weeks now or a week and a half until the big day. So, comewithusconfessions@gmail.com. That's comewithusconfessions@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Come With Us Podcast, on Twitter at Come With Us Pod. Just make sure you subscribe to the podcast too, download it, rate it, review it, leave 5 stars. But the biggest thing is, tell your friends, tell at least one friend, hey, you should check out, this episode of this podcast and let them know what you think.
Yes. Thank you. Give us as your treat. I like that. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Happy Halloween. This is the podcast you need when you want the bare naked truth about love, sex, and relationships. I'm Beth from sexyedschool.com here with Aaron and Tina. We strip away the bullshit and dive deep into everything from dating to squirting, kinky to furry, love and heartbreak. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Come With Us podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media at Come With Us Podcast and send in your questions, comments, and confessions to comewithusconfessions@gmail.com. Until next time, keep it fun, flirty, and naughty.